Now we're going to discuss the customer opinions of DRM. Quite a lot of the issues raised with DRM are to do with finding that agreement between the technology providers, the content providers, selling music, film, etc., the content industry, and most importantly, the consumer. As a result, customer opinions are important as because of what they want to do with what they buy and use is affecting the implementation of DRM and the control that the DMCA has. As agreed by authors in the 2003 ACM International Conference Proceedings series, DRMS has the potential to dispose of fair use and individuals will lose the right to have a private copy. DRMS will restrict innovation, research, free speech and public access to digital information. So basically, anything you do in your personal life with your products. This obviously would not make the consumers happy. I'm not happy about it, are you?
No! No!
Already, in regards to the music industry, attempts have been made to implement DRM. A few years ago, some CDs in production had DRM added to them. This no longer occurs. iTunes, who launched in 2003 and reported by the BBC in 2008 to be the largest music retailer in the US, and for years had the DRM system Fair Play in use on their products, restricting any purchased items to be played on up to 5 authorised computers. However, on the 1st of January 2009, Apple announced that 8 million of the iTunes store's 10 million songs will be offered without DRM, and the entire catalogue was expected to go DRM-free by the end of the first calendar quarter of 2009. This is obviously a result of the consumer views, as they do gain less from getting rid of DRM, as there are more people sharing but yet they still have chosen to do it. However, other digital media available from iTunes, such as music videos, are still shipped with DRM. This is sadly not influenced by customer opinion and is led by the industry requiring this content to be locked down. It is good that iTunes got rid of their DRM, as after reading the opinion of a writer on CNET, it really did not seem all that fair. So no wonder it wasn't accepted by consumers, and acceptability is vitally important, as for a consumer to use something they must like it first. So without the consumer support, DRM could never work. This writer on CNET stated how Apple's DRM isn't a new thing. DRM isn't a new concept. As far as the average consumer is concerned, 1, it works with my iPod. 2, it's easy to use and I don't need to drive to the store. 3, it's good music. What they don't know is that if all of a sudden the iPod isn't in anymore, people cannot do much with their Fair Play songs. Play for Sure, WMA, is adopted as a format for many players. It restricts you just as much as Fair Play, if not more, but the difference lies in the fact that Plays for Sure can play on a lot more devices, but doesn't play on their in-device called the iPod. So digital music downloader are in a dilemma. 2 main choices of downloads: A, iPod only Fair Play, B, widely used but non-iPod. But the main question is, why? Why the heck should I pay for a piece of music that I can't listen to the way I like? Wait, pretty soon it'll be illegal to let my friend listen to a new track I got from my MP3 player. Fair Play working on only iPods is an upside and a downside in itself. The reason being, iPods are popular, but what happens if iPods die out? My dad has old tapes that he still listens to and still can listen to. If a new era of music is downloaded and you invest in music that's DRM'd, isn't that violating fair use? How can you sell CDs that I can rip and burn without as little as a speed bump? But if I download the same music online, I'm bombarded with something called DRM. All DRM is doing is making more people resort to piracy to get the music they crave, to penalise the people who are paying for the music. We agree with what this writer has to say, and we also say well done iTunes for making a change, as it really wasn't fair at all. Now for some more questions. Let's see if you are really listening. What is the name of a now old iTunes DRM software and how did it limit its content? A, Fair Play, and each track can only be authorised on a maximum of 5 different iTunes accounts, and if contained in a playlist can be copied to a CD up to 7 times. B, Play for Sure. Each track can only be authorised on a maximum of 5 different iTunes accounts, and if contained in a playlist can be copied to CD up to 7 times. C, Fair Play. Each track can only be authorised on a maximum of 5 different iTunes accounts, and when copied to CD puts DRM on that CD. And D, Play for Sure. Each track can only be authorised on a maximum of 6 different iTunes accounts.
Please choose one of the 4 answers now.